Which way is the stock market about to go? Well, let's just have a look at the data. Always fall back on data. So I've set it up here on my own dashboard for the Great Investments Program. We've got the S&P 500 in future videos, so like and save this one. We're going to look at the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell 2000. We can also look at the Vanguard FTSE Developed, emerging markets, just US total market, for instance. And here's a killer one for you, the MSCI all country world, which I know a lot of you in, as well as the emerging markets. But this one is the S&P 500. By the way, in future, we can also look at the week ahead, 21 days ahead strategies for some of the mega caps and sector ETFs like energy, financials, technology, as well as thematic ones like semiconductors, biotech as well. So just so you know what's coming up, including leveraged ETFs such as NVIDIA 2 times leverage. So this week, seasonal read, okay? The S&P 500 is what it's historically done across 46 years from week 18 of the year. Well, the next 5 trading days, we're looking at it to be mildly flat. And that's only 5 days. So what do you expect? But the next 21 days, this is where it starts getting a bit more interesting. We're expecting it to be potentially up 1%. Now, if you're leveraged, if you're a hedge fund, or you're using CFDs or spread bets, you might suddenly start getting excited and say, hey, in 21 days, I leveraged that up. I could be up 10%. However, your worst case scenario is you could be down 9%. Okay, I don't think that'll happen, but that's your worst case. And you can imagine a 10-to-1 leverage on being down 9% on the underlying means you're wiped out. Okay, so you can see the risk of leverage. Don't do it. What about the 5-day forward for the upcoming week of the year? What I'd say is week 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 all tend to be more likely to be positive rather than negative, giving you an edge of up to about 62% of the time they're positive. Now, what that does is, if you're a trader, you might come up with all sorts of strategies. What I suggest instead you do is, as an investor, think to yourself, actually, I can afford to be pretty calm. Okay. By the way, over the last 46 years, just under 10% annualized return is what the S&P 500 got you. The best and worst months, November and September. When we get closer to those, we'll look at whether or not we get in. And also, you've had a 69-fold return over that period. Well, what does it matter? I wasn't even born then. Here's where the months get interesting. May tends to be pretty good. June, not as good. July, one of the best months of the year. That's all very good. How do you know that that history is noise or not? Well, actually, it does tend to be noise, with the exception of April, where it's statistically significant for the statisticians amongst you. November as well, and December are statistically significant. So at the start of those months, you definitely want to be in. By November to the end of the year, statistically tends to be more than just coincidence and coin flipping. Days of the week, which tend to be the best ones for you, well, the moves are barely there, but you've got over a 50% positive skew over there. Anyway, what I'm saying to you is, if you were looking at taking a short-term view, but with the ability to take it longer if need be, then this is what you're looking at. 21-day forwards, you've got a whole bunch where if you had to hold into June, into July, it's fine. It's green the whole way through. Okay, and that's one way to look at it. For the investors, it just gives them a degree of calm that there isn't really turbulence coming ahead. If they find some turbulence, they shouldn't worry about it. It tends to self-correct relatively quickly. For the traders, your brains will be going like this. You'll be going absolutely nuts, because the traders will be thinking to themselves, wow, wait a minute, I've got one strategy here, one over there. This is exclusively for people on the Great Investments Program. Have a look at alpeshpatel.com. /links. There is a subscription page there. If we make it available to the public, and if you're on alpeshpatel.com/links, you will get a notification. Okay, save this video, like and follow if you want to get more insights like this, especially if you want to get the next one, which I think I'm going to look at the S&P 500 2 times bull, which means if the S&P goes up 10%, you make 20%. If it drops 10%, you lose 20%. How good's that been historically? Which have been the best times to hold it? Is it worth holding for a short period of time? That's coming next. Like I said, like, follow, hugs for more.